Let's go. I am enough, you are enough. No more self-doubt.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of When Men Heal. Today I've got a guest with me. He's become a friend of mine over the past year. Is it a year now?
About
About a year, yeah. Mr. Van Lee, welcome brother. Thank you for being here, man, and making the time out to come and chat with me.
It's my pleasure.
So Soma, let's get into it. So tell me a bit about yourself. Like, where did you grow up? Your journey, kind of, if you can do maybe a story arc.
Yeah.
Up until, because we met, I can't remember the first time we met, but it was the first time we worked together, or the only time was on the bail.
Wow, yeah, I actually forgot about that.
That's when we kind of connected a little.
Yeah.
Before that, I can't remember if we...
So before that, I had wanted to meet you. I don't think I've actually told you this.
Is it?
I watched, so before I went into full-time acting in 2018. Prior to that, I was watching Skimmer Dance.
Oh, wow.
That was before 2018, was it?
Yeah. That was, I think it was 2018, 2019.
Is it?
Yeah.
And I remember your character from the offset.
Okay.
And I was like, this is bra. You were part of actually why I wanted to be an actor.
Oh,
well,
wow.
go full-time.
Thank you.
Because, that whole production was just a masterclass of all sorts, acting, directing, storytelling, and your character stood out to me. And so at that point, I was like, who is this bra? Then I obviously, found out more about you. So, and then when I actually worked with you, I was like, wow, this is Danny,
Yeah.
And so I obviously knew of you a long time ago. But I think, if I remember, after Debail, we didn't really connect. It was...
we'd bump into each other at casting.
We'd see each other at casting.
I just remember you being so friendly, chill, sharing castings, because everyone doesn't do that. We were just sitting at the casting. It's like, have you heard of this?
Oh,
and
yes, that's right. Yeah. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe I shouldn't share too much. But yeah, bro. So I think, our journey, like any good friendship, once God was like, right, the two of you, I felt, was now's the time.
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
I think had it happened maybe before, whatever, it wouldn't be the same. But I think at the right time, God was like, he put his hand on it, and then it was, the thing was fuss.
Yeah.
And man.
Because if I think about it, when we met on the bail, we didn't chat too much, and we'd run into each other at castings. And then the one day I was shooting at We Buy Cars, and you were there with your parents.
Yeah.
And then, we exchanged numbers. Only then we did that.
Yeah, but of course we knew of, we would chat, and like you said, that moment when we exchanged numbers, and it's funny that I went to my dad after we left the place, and I was like, this is a strange thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Like I knew of Danny, and I know him, and I'm like explaining to my folks like who you are, and I'm like, and now we're going to link up. But there was something special about that, and I think that, this is also part of a culmination of kindred spirits, I feel. Like you starting the podcast. We've been speaking about this since then, actually.
Yeah.
And I feel that every time we meet, whether we're shooting tapes or just shooting the breeze, there's something in it, man, that's undeniable.
Oh,
the more I spend time with you, I'm more like, God, teach me. We've got a long way to go.
It is liquor to like when we finally linked up.
Yeah.
That day, I think we went to Magic Forest. We spent that was the first time we linked up and said, okay, let's link up, let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
And I think we spent 4.5 hours together.
Yeah, we got lost in the
And we
forest.
just got lost, and
Yeah.
and it was lekker man to have a real conversation, and just feeling at the end of it, like you say, like God put a stamp on it, and I could feel the love. I could feel like, nah, this is someone that I can walk a journey with,
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you for that openness
pleasure.
of yours,
Pleasure.
and
Yeah.
just being. Yeah, you're always so gentle and willing to accept people in your space, I think. I know you're probably also protective to some degree,
For sure, yeah, for sure.
But
For sure.
yeah, I'm grateful that you welcomed me in your space.
Thanks, homie.
And it feels lekker, man. I always feel energized after I've seen
And
you.
sometimes lekker doesn't always feel right.
Yeah.
Sometimes we look for the lekkerness and we want, and we maybe get it twisted in terms of if a connection or a thing is lekker, then it's right. But sometimes lekkerness feels awkward.
Yeah.
And synergy feels uncomfortable. And I think like this platform, to be honest, coming into this episode, I was like, oh, this is like it's become. We've been talking about it, but the realization of going public, like speaking to your bra one-on-one is one thing. Going out in public and putting stuff out there is another thing. Because you're like, yo, now it's it's a different.
out there,
but it's what my point is that sometimes doing the right thing and having connections it can feel uncomfortable at times. And I think this is also where men kind of hit a young left, because when it becomes too like, tell me about yourself, what is your trauma, what changed, they're like, nah, I just want to hit a tequila with the homies or play football. I don't want to go there.
Do something other than having a conversation.
Then bring the guard down. So yeah, we can chop that up. But to answer your question, I'm from Athlone, Q-Town specifically. And I grew up as an only child, although I have a half brother and two half sisters and one half brother.
Okay.
As things go in Athlone. But in my home, I grew up as the only child from my mom and my dad.
Okay.
Christian home.
So just the three of you?
Just the three of us. My mom and dad. I grew up in a Christian home, so they had another life, hence the half lighties. And then when they found Christ, they had me. And so my dad, I grew up in the church, like literally grew up in the church. My baby photos of me sleeping under pews in churches, whatnot. So my dad was a pastor. He's still a pastor. Mom was a working lady. Well, so was my dad, but working in the church. I grew up Q-Town, moved to Bridgetown in Athlone. And then my dad, we moved to Australia when I was 11 years old. I was there for a little bit. My dad was looking to study.
How long was that?
I was there. I got back when I was 12.
Okay.
13.
So it was like a
year and a bit. Yeah.
Okay. How was that for you as a kid?
It was weird because like nobody did that in 1989, 90, right? Or not a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we weren't like a rich family. So we were, from Bridgetown. And so to be taken out of that environment where, you come from Athlone to then go to this new space was weird, and then come back with an accent after.
Because you're young. You're adapting.
Fitting in.
Yeah.
And then all the men are laughing at you because you have an accent.
And when you went there, you also obviously had an accent. Was it difficult for them to understand you there?
Yeah, so that's why as a child you change.
Yes.
I mean, to this day, my uncles and aunts that are over there still have their South African accent, but the lighties are all Australian.
Yeah.
Because they just adapt. So anyway, we came back, and then lived here, finished school here. But my parents constantly moved out of the out of the streets and found betterment in terms of demographic. You know, they from Bridgetown to Pinelands, Thornton, so on.
Yeah.
And then I finished school,
Where did you go to school?
Windsor High, and then Rhodes High
Okay.
in Mowbray. And then I was 18, and I hadn't finished. I'd just written my matric exams, and my parents said to me, we've got 5,000 Rand. You can either study something, but 5,000 Rand back then was a lot. So they said, you can either study next year or you can go overseas with this money.
Yeah.
But we put aside 5K. I was out, I booked the ticket, I was gone. I went to London.
Of course.
Yeah, that was quite a rude awakening coming as an only child from a Christian home, going to London.
How long were you in London?
That was also about a year. That was also about a year and a bit.
How was that for you?
Bro, that was in my life so far. That was one of the shifts that had happened, because I was exposed and literally exposed spiritually, physically. I was without my folks. I was without the church. I was without bras. And so I literally was in a hostel and had to fend for myself.
Yeah.
No Insta, no. There was nothing. I think we maybe had internet, but like no cell phones. So no GPS. So you're there asking men, "Sir, excuse me,
Did you
where
go?
can
Like,
I?"
did you work? Did you go work there?
I worked there. Yeah. I
What
worked
did you?
as a barman, and then a waiter, and then my main job then was I was in some office cabling company. But yeah, I was honestly it was one of those shifting moments in my, especially as a young man. And then I came back and worked. When I came back from London, I was on my own. So, you know, I lived with friends and worked, studied, and yeah, I was privileged to. I was always into brands and marketing as a kid, and so I studied business management and brand management.
Yeah, in South Africa. When
in
you came
South
back.
Africa,
Okay.
yeah, Damlin, and then. I worked for Red Bull at the time, which was that was Red Bull's heyday. They had just come to South Africa. And then I went from Red Bull to Nike in Johannesburg. And then from Nike, that's also where I got married.
Okay. In Joburg.
In Joburg. Well, I got married here, but I was living in Joburg.
Oh, okay.
And so when my ex and I when we got married, we lived in Johannesburg. I was working for Nike. I was married for about 7 years. And then came back to Cape Town. I worked at the Foschini Group as the Markham brand manager. And then shortly after that, I left and did full-time acting, 2018. And then still on that hustle number. Damn it. Bad move.
Kego, what made you do that shift to acting?
So my mom, so I come from a very musically inclined acting, and also growing up in the church. I was in plays. And as a pastor's laity, you do everything. You lead worship. You're doing the plays.
So you sing as well, and all
Sing,
of that.
you know.
Yeah.
So, but you had to, because you're it was expected of the pastor's laity to do that.
Even if you're singing false.
It's not. No, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, so I was always on stage at church acting. And then my mum, who loves the arts, I remember going to Cine 400 in Rylands.
Okay.
And watching Annie, the original Annie. And I must have been about 5, 6 years old. And I remember watching this stick, and I was like, it was a musical day.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is crazy. I went to do, something happened, you know. And then through the years, we grew up watching District 6, and because my mum was a dancer in her day, and a very good dancer, she grew up. Well, I grew up also in the Eon group in Athlone, and so I'd spend a lot of time there watching my sister and my mom them dance, and backstage and stage and wardrobe and all of that. So my world was not consumed. Well, there was church, and then there was theater, movies, and so as I studied and worked in corporate, I had an affinity towards film and theater.
Yeah.
And it was an itch. I was about to turn 40 when I was as a brand manager at Markham, and I was looking at at that point I was like 15 years or so in corporate. And I was looking at the hustle of corporate and how you need to, wangle your way in order to get to that position. And then from that position, it was kind of mapped out, and you needed to play the role, play the part, so to speak. And I was like, nah, man, I'm going to be 40 soon. What happens if I get to 50, 60 and wonder what would have happened if I just gave it a go?
Yeah.
Like acting, if I just tried it out,
Wow. Wow.
But I had done a few ads and whatnot before then. And then I thought, and also I was in Cape Town, and Cape Town's a hub of creativity. So I was amongst people who had started like their own beer companies and clothing brands. And, I was associated with entrepreneurs and guys that are, and I was like, nah, let me give it a go. So I did a few courses, acting courses, and then I thought, let me do this properly. And then COVID happened as I did that. So as that happened, like literally I was on my first set, bro. You can imagine how happy I was.
What set was it?
It was an independent film called 2/3 of a Man.
Okay.
And I played Uncle Mike. And so now I've just come out of corporate. I've done my studies and whatnot, and I was like, cool, I'm on this indie film set. And we were 2 days into shooting when we were busy having supper on set. And someone says, oh, by the way, the president's speaking tonight. So I take out my laptop, and so we're chowing on set. And
this is now beginning of 2020.
Yeah, and the president goes, as of Thursday this week, we're having a lockdown, blah, 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 that whole speech. And there was literally like that weird silence. I think everyone had the same reaction, right? Because we're like, what is the lockdown? What do you mean no one is going to work? And there was this crazy, weird silence. We closed the laptop, and we were like, what now? And the director says, well, and he had booked the house out, the location for the week. And he says, well, there's no use coming back tomorrow. We're shutting it down because we can't, shoot. We can't carry on because in 2 days' time, the lockdown happens. And so anyway, that happened. And as the story goes, for the next year and a half or so, I was home, while my bras who at corporate were loving it, ate at home, still working from earning salaries.
What were you doing in that time?
I was selling shoes, brah, my tackies. I sold my car. I had to fend for myself. And freezing the bread in the freezer so it lasts longer, making your peanut butter a little bit thinner than usual. That facts, bro.
Okay, but and you didn't think of going back to corporate?
I did, of course I did. At that time, no one was hiring, and it was also no one was hiring. So I thought about it, but then, the years preceding that, I had considered it, and there were many moments in acting. As an actor, you go like, I wonder if I should, and then you try.
Yeah.
But thank God I have a tribe of people, including my folks, who pray over me and my life, and I had a few bras that were like, nah, don't do it. Like,
don't do what?
Don't go back. Like, there's something. Don't stay. Stay the course. And bro, they're not my friends anymore. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it was a tough time, but I stuck it out, and here we are.
Yeah, we are, but the hustle continues.
The
Né?
hustle continues.
How do you feel about the work now?
About what? Like
The
the
acting,
acting?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm also going to start a podcast soon.
I'm telling you, bro, you can't, because in this
Well,
game, you can't just do acting. But I
yeah.
think as human beings, we supposed to be able to do a lot
Yeah,
of things,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And acting it's a lot of work, and unless you're like on long form, it's kind of like, you know, you kind of like have that stability. But freelancing is like, you cannot just be doing that unless you're very blessed or lucky to be just booking work.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Bru, I'm hopeful. To answer your question, I'm hopeful. I love what I do. Like when I'm on set, and I suppose you know this. Like when you get that brief, or you get the confirmation of the booking, and you get stuck into
Yeah.
the character, and then you're on set and you're shooting and you telling the story. That's what when I came into acting, the reason why I did it was for the exact reason that one of your projects that you did recently that you know I love, called The Heart is a Muscle.
Oh, yeah.
When I watched that, I'm like, this is why, man. I didn't want, because people at the beginning were like, go to LA, try New York. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not what I want. I want to, when I grew up, there was no, I mean, we had the likes of Charlene Sooty Richards but there was no, like, other than that, aspirational actors that we could look to, you know, locally, that was telling our stories as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
also
yeah.
breaking a narrative. And so
Yeah,
why I did that, I hold that close to me, is because I wanted to be, and I still do want to be a part of retelling a maybe distorted version or narrative that has been out there for many years of us, because it's changed over the years.
Yeah.
Our stories have changed and evolved. And I also love the fact that as South Africans, we are at the precipice, or have been, of seeing an evolution in terms of our industry, music, writing, theater, movies, you know, and we can see it.
Yeah.
In the past, it was like, it wasn't there, you know. And I look at music as well, like, you know, now there's what we're doing in terms of production is it's amazing, and it's world class now. We're at
Yeah.
that level now where we can showcase, and we've seen it with
Yeah.
our own homegrown talent that is now in Hollywood and doing things abroad. That's like a big yes for me. And being a part of that in some way or form
Yeah.
is what fulfills me.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I hear what you're saying. I think for me, what happened was, like, you know, every time you work, it's lekker, but it stops at some point. And then you, like, kind of catch a dip
Yeah,
when you're not
yeah,
working,
yeah.
you know? So I had to figure out, like, what do I do in that dip? Because when you're in that dip, you think everyone else is working. It looks like everyone else is working.
Booked and busy.
You know what I mean? And you start feeling like why you audition, and I mean, yes, as majority of the time it's rejection. You know, it's like you can go for 3-4 auditions in a week and not get any
It's
of
the
them.
one. It's the one.
And that for me, like, it broke me a lot, man. But it also like made me question, like, okay, what else am I gonna do? What else can I keep myself busy with? Whether it's hobbies, whether it's you know, just creating stuff. You know, I try to get into writing. Writing is another kind of discipline that, especially for, like, I do music, but that's a bit more easier for me because it's short. It's, you know what I mean? It's an idea, and you write it. But I'm not too disciplined with that. And I just had to, over time, try and fill my time with things that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Even if I don't enjoy it, like, sometimes I have to just do things.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Um, Yeah, because that waiting game can kill you.
Yeah, the rejection for me is something I didn't quite. I mean, I heard about it and I felt it, but like it's like taking blows all the
Yeah.
time, bruh, you
Yeah.
know. And it's still something I'm grappling with, to be honest with you, because I can only, and we've shared this off camera, that we only have X amount of capacity,
Yeah.
you know, before. And the thing is, we need to show up as actors at auditions as if you weren't just rejected or you
Yeah,
lost
yeah, yeah.
something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't show the
Yeah.
directors.
You gotta let it go so quick, eh?
Yeah, right. and I also didn't know that you can't also carry the desperation of wanting the work because you can see it on camera very easily, you know. So living that line of like, I'm affected by the rejection, but I also can't bring this level of need and desire to want to work into the character in the audition room is you know, it's a skill on its own, man. And then you don't get, it's not like we get paid for it either. It's not like, okay, thank you for that, like you just do it, like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
thank you for coming, salute,
Yeah,
cheers.
and then you're like, okay, now what? Now you wait again and see.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
that rejection is it's not easy, and I think a lot of people can quit after that, you know, because you can only take so much.
Yeah.
And to keep going, it's a thing. It's like I always try and explain to people in outside of our industry. It's like, imagine you're going for interviews the whole time and just hear no, 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 no. But this happens year after year, month after month, 2 months no interviews, 3 months no interviews. Then you get 1 month, you've got like 5 interviews, but it's all no's.
no.
And the worst thing is when they option you. They put you on first option, especially when it's commercials. And it's like liquor money, and you're like crossing your fingers. And a day before the wardrobe date, you've been released. And you're like, oh, man, you already spent that money in your head.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, no, it's not for the faint-hearted at all. But you know, as a believer, it's also something that is on a faith level. It's hard to deal with, honestly, because you're like, God, where? Because you know, we live by faith and we claim things, and we're like. And God's like, nah, with the claim, you can not claim it. You know, and then you don't want to live like hopelessly as well and be like, no, I'm not gonna ask anymore. You just do, because that's defeatist. Like it's living, I don't know, defeatedly or whatever. But like, yeah, man. But here we are, and well done to you for this platform. I think it gives. Obviously, an actor and men a space to vent and to know that we're not alone.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times, like you said, you think that you're like, no, I'm the only actor in the whole country, bro. That's not.
Yeah.
You know, and then you meet people and you start chatting and becoming real.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, it's tough out there for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shot for the platform and for the space.
I mean, I've told you why I've created this platform, going through our personal journey, my wife and I. And it was almost like I've said before, it's like my pain, I've turned my purpose into, my pain into purpose, you know. Because I've mentioned it before in other episodes, like I wanted to give back, and a friend of mine from high school, I bumped into him at the casting, and he put it so beautifully. He said, you don't have to give back the same way you received. Because I was always thinking of giving back within the industry.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so this is my way of kind of giving back, besides being present and checking in and, you know, having that relationships. And feeding them, but also I think this year we've spoken about it, like I've decided, like I also need to be fed in a way, as cliche as it sounds, found myself a lot being the one that's checking in. And I had to take a step back and like question, why do I do that? Because I really sometimes I want to check in on people and I want to see how they're doing,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
know what I mean.
yeah.
But then I had to just take a step back to do that, see why I'm doing that, and that also kind of showed me who was then checking in on me, And when I did that, it was like within 2-3 weeks, 3 people like checked in. So I was like, I think I'm making the right decision,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I would usually be the
Be the
one
one
that's,
checking in, yeah.
you know,
Sometimes just taking a step back
yeah,
is actually just to reassess, and you
yeah,
find
it's
like
like,
guys reaching out,
yeah.
you know.
And it felt nice. It
Yeah.
feels nice when someone's like, and
Oh, it's
what I
great.
love about what you've done always, like, since we met and after our first meetup, you've always checked in, or
Yeah.
like, you listen, when now we're meeting up again, let's go for a You sounded like me,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, okay, this is cool. This is kind of what I need, where it's not just a check-in, it's like, let's meet up. What are you doing this week? When are you available? Okay, let's make a date.
Yeah.
Let's make it fast. Let's,
Yeah, yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Because we
yeah.
have this thing of just, yeah, we should meet up,
And then
and
it
you
never
never
happens,
do,
yeah.
until you bump
Yeah.
into each other again.
Yeah, yeah.
So short for that, I really appreciate
Yeah.
that you actually do that.
I think that there's that old notion of people won't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. And I've always, reminded my sons of that. Like when you meet people, when you leave them, try and aim towards making them be like, wow, that was a kid so nice. He was such a pleasant child, or such a nice guy. You made me feel, you know what I mean? And so I think with you as well, it was like iron sharpens iron, you want to be. But when the older, the older you get, you're like, Kegi, man, I just want to be in rooms and in spaces that I feel valued, and I can give. There's reciprocity.
Yes.
Right? There's like, I'm not here just to make you feel good. I want to also be made. I want to leave.
Yeah.
And sometimes giving, because that's seasonal, right? Sometimes there's a season of. I heard this other thing. It said, in a relationship, sometimes you would parent, and sometimes you would, what's the other P? But like there's seasons in friendships and relationships where I need to be strengthening my homies, like support, like he's going through something, and I'm like, right, I'm going to be there, right?
Yeah.
And there's other times that it's vice versa. But I think for most part, where I'm at in life is like, I want to spend my time now, because time becomes more valuable the older you get. You're like, where I'm done with like small talk and like seeing brasa, and there's I want to be in a space where we can chop it up, but at the same time have fun.
Have fun.
Because life shouldn't be about angsting over castings we didn't get, and because there's
all
a lot
serious and
because I mean you can spend your life like that, and I know a few cats that are like that, but like we should be able to be in spaces, and that's what my aim is to be in a place where I can be real, there's reciprocity, but it's also fun, man, yeah.
Oh, we look at this. Like this. Now we're having fun.
Like this, bruh. Like this. Yeah. When
So-
men heal.
When men heal. Yeah. This is what happens when men heal. We can have conversations. I mean, with you like you've been married. Have you always had like male friends?
Yeah, I would say
In terms of like, yes, male friends, but I mean ones that you can be vulnerable with. Have you always?
No, actually not. I mean, so this part of my adult life, yes. I've been blessed to have, I've got like 3 bras, 3 or 4 homies that I have journeyed with for almost 20 years.
Okay.
And that's a big blessing. Prior to that, I've had great men. So my dad has been a massive part of my life growing up, and then my uncles. And so I've had great male figures, my grandfathers. But growing up, no. And it's funny that you asked me that, because I don't know if I've shared this with you, but I grew as an only child. I think I have mentioned it to you. I always wanted a brother.
You said
Always,
that
bro. So now I've got 4 boys, and I live vicariously through them when I watch, since they were kids, like babies.
Yeah.
I would just see how they play with each other, how their characters develop, because the one is this way and the other one's that way. And so there'd be tension, but I see how it shapes their character. And I just grew up always loving. So I would be the brother that would come over to my friends. I'm talking now when I was much younger, and overplay my role as a friend.
Yeah.
Because,
Okay.
you know, so my homies will all have brothers and sisters. And then I'm there, and I'm like, I love you, and I'm like hugging, and so I'd be that bra, and then my homies would be like, nah, man, like, you know, not in that way, but like I'd feel, you know, like a little bit like, oh, they've got their own brothers and sisters.
Yes.
And to be honest, that feeling has never left. I've grown up with it, and so as I became older and started navigating around this desire for brotherhood, for relationship, God had blessed me with great friends, like I said, who has been seasonal bras in the trenches. And so, so although I didn't have that like brother, like, you know, growing up with a brother and sister like you do, I've had good friends who holds me accountable. We've journeyed together. Yeah.
How important do you think that is, to have that?
It is. I don't think you can do it without that, honestly. I think if you have just one, it's more than enough.
Okay.
If you have more than one, you're super blessed. And when I say one, I'm not talking about guys you just shooting the. I'm not talking about mediocre, shallow friendships. I'm talking about bros you can cry with, guys who will come up to you and say, "The hell are you doing? What you're doing is not like keeping in check."
Yes.
Which is not easy to have, you know. So I think, had I not had that in my life, I don't know that I would have been on this podcast, because I would have been a completely different guy, friend, son. It saddens me to think that men don't pursue that, because it's not easy to keep it either. It takes work.
Yeah.
And for the most part, the strength in it, it's in the breaking process that happens when men heal. For me, the strength is not in the moments where it's lekker and we vibing. The strength is in, should I tell Van, or can I tell Danny about, can I have that like making that decision? And that's, I feel like we said at the top of this chat, that I think that's where a lot of men unfortunately be like, nah, I'm just gonna deal with it by myself.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it's of utmost importance, bro.
And look at you, got 4 boys. So, how are they with each other?
They're good. They're good, man. Why I'm laughing is because I see, I don't know how much you want to go into it, but like my boys, bro, so firstly, the 4 of them have not been together yet.
Okay.
It's one of my deepest prayers, and I think it will happen this year, but they have not. They obviously know of each other and they chat. They're all connected.
Okay.
As teenagers are, but they're good. They're good. It's teenagers, man. So I'm I hope that they. So they are 13, 14, 15 and 15, turning, well, will be 16 and 16,
Okay.
14 and 13. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So, yeah, as a dad, as a guy, I'm like, God, I need, because I know I've seen brothers, when brothers have a go at each other, woof,
Yeah.
it can be hardcore.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the Bible. The very first murder was Cain and Abel. And so I know the love is so, like the bond is so tight that, and I just pray that that it stays, that there's no like fallouts and stuff, you know. But they're good, man. They're good. Another shift in my fatherhood was making the decision to be completely open and honest with them. Another thing that wasn't easy, bro. The most rewarding things are the hardest
Nee.
conversations, man. I've had to sit my kids down and tell them exactly who I was,
Yeah.
why I left their mum,
Yeah.
why their brothers are all over the world, like why they have
Okay.
brothers elsewhere.
Okay.
And that was not an easy conversation, dude.
But you
That
did
was- Yeah.
But you.
I don't know how I did it, but I stumbled through it with lots of tears, and there was grace in that. You know, like I didn't even know, because I was expecting my lighties to be like, oh, what a fuck, like, you know what,
Yeah.
like you know, which I was, but like there was, because I was just like, I want you to know that I am imperfect. And something that I've told them, that I continue to tell them as they get older, is like, I'm not going to get this right. I grew up in an era where like mom and dad were like they got things right, and they were like what they said was.
Yeah, you don't question them.
You don't question them, like everything. And for me, it's like, listen, I've never fathered teenagers before. This is my first time fathering teenagers. I've never fathered in this current environment in terms of feminism, the rise of feminism and men, and so everything is new for me, as it is for you. You've never gone through puberty. You've never gone to grade 8. It's all new for you as well. So I'm telling you that let's keep each other in check here, right? I'm still your buddy. We're not like
Friends.
bras.
Yeah,
No, I'm
yeah.
still like, I know a lot more than you do.
Yeah.
But I am imperfect. I will get things wrong. There will be times when I will say, I'm sorry, Dad effed up, and my bad. And I hope that you can forgive me.
Yeah.
And there will be times I need you to say that, right? And yeah, I think there's, in anything, Danny, in anything, I found surrender when there's this openness. And I think that's kind of like when we met as well. Like, there's no masquerading and like, this is sickling or whatever. This is who I am, man. And I find that even in parenting, that level of honesty and vulnerability is rewarding. Yeah.
Now we've spoken about like, because this is how it looks on the outside, to people, and we all carry a wound, we all carry trauma, we all have something that we're struggling with, and part of the reason I'm doing this, because we look at it from the outside, but then when we actually get into the inside, we're like, wow, I didn't know this, I wasn't expecting this. Because you see the person and and then it's like, what, you've been carrying this, or you've went through this. So share with us what has been yours.
The price of I think the cost of healing is. So I I grew up obviously in a Christian home, and very sheltered from what was going on in Athlone, gangsterism, drugs, but I knew it was there. My ass got robbed a few times, got offered buttons a few times. I knew what was out there, but I was still guarded, and and so like things like sex and puberty was all not. It was all taboo. Like
Yeah.
you just don't speak, just don't do it. That's all
Yeah.
I knew. You know.
Yeah.
Then when we came back, my mom, dad, and I think it was 1992. We lived with my my aunt, and actually, if this is, it's gonna be it's gonna be awkward. This is the first time I'm actually speaking about it publicly. So.
Okay. Well, you can go in as much detail you want.
So we were living with family, and it was we were there for maybe a month or two.
This is now when you came back from Australia.
So I had just I don't know, you call it like got into puberty, or puberty just happened to me. So I was like 13, I think, and then we were staying with family members, and there were two guys who were like cousins to me. They were older. They must have been in 19 years old. And I was sexually abused by them while living there. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that it was wrong. It felt wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
And you were 13 at the time.
Yeah. But also, my dynamic in the family, to elaborate again, was not that of like I can just go to my bali or my tani and be like, can you this, you know?
Yeah.
I just knew that it was wrong. So, but before that happened, like literally when I moved into into my family home, into my family's home, I was the same who I thought was my cousins, but they are like friends, family, whatever.
We all
they were just there in the house, and you thought anyway. They introduced me to pornography.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I've never seen this before. And so as that happened, my sexual abuse happened at the same time, right? And and so that happened. It was ongoing for the duration that I was there.
Sure.
And
how long was that?
We were there for like, I would say between a month and 2 months. I don't think it was longer than 2 or 3 months.
The pornography, was it video? Was it
VHS?
Okay.
VHS and magazines.
Yeah.
So in this home, it was my family's house. There was pornography, books and videos and whatnot. So my cousins introduced me to this, and then the abuse would happen. The sexual stuff would happen at night while I was there. And like I said, it was ongoing. And then we moved out. And I, as one does, you don't think about it. You're like,
sure.
But I did not know that the seeds that were planted through pornography and sexual abuse, the soil that it had been planted in was so, I know this as a father now and as an older man, that's the age, and obviously I've been through many counseling sessions since. So, and I'm sure the viewers will know this as well, that at that point in a young man's life, it is of massive influence what he goes through, that puberty part.
Yeah.
From relationships, and especially sexually, because obviously it's your puberty, it's the shift. You go from and so the timing of it all was mad, because I had gone through puberty. I didn't tell anybody. It's not like now my sons, I'm like, when is this thing happening? Tell me, you know. But so we know as men, your voice breaking is not the only thing that happens during the stage. And so there was confusion, there was secrecy, and so we just kept on, as one does.
So then you moved from there?
We moved out of there,
About 2 months, you said?
About 2 months, about that, and then we moved out and into my parents' home then.
Just the three of you?
Just the three of us again.
Okay.
And then,
And then
I didn't tell anybody, but I was confused. I actually thought that I was gay.
Okay.
well, not at the, not at that exact time. As I think maybe 14, 15, 16, I was like, there must be something wrong with me that happened,
Okay.
right? They must think that I'm gay and maybe I'm gay. Why did they do
Wow.
it to my other cousins? You know,
Okay.
why was it just me that stuff was happening to?
Yeah.
You know? So now, I mean, you can think like wrestling with this at a young age in the early 1990s, Christian home. There was no podcasts and social media.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there was a season where I was at school and I was like, am I gay? You know? Yeah, but then we carried on. And I don't think there was I can't remember any ill effects of that besides the pornography that was constant. The addiction thereof or the compulsion thereof.
Yeah.
So that remained up until I would say I got married to my ex-wife in my 20s.
So then those high school years, how was that for you? Were you how could I say? Your parents didn't pick up anything.
Do you know what I think it was?
Were you rebellious?
Yeah.
Were you?
No, I wasn't rebellious. I think what had happened was, I overcompensated for what was the trauma, because the trauma was so crazy without going into detail, but visually and physically, it was. I would live it secretly.
Yeah.
Right? And so I would then date girls and overcompensate in terms of like, this didn't happen. I'm going to show myself that I am a man and that I am, you know. And so there was this sexual overcompensation, I should say, you know, that played itself out through my teenage years. No one knew a damn thing, obviously. So, yeah, in short, it was a confusing time, but I didn't recognize it. Again, you don't have the self-awareness at 15 or 16 or 17 to be like, this must be, you just here with the goodness and the, you know, and the homies, but you don't know that it's fueled by pain and trauma. You're too young to know that.
Do you think that you not like swept it under the carpet, but was there ever a point, do you think, that you had forgotten about it completely? Is it?
100%.
Wow.
100%. Yeah. No, when you're in it, you're like, no, didn't happen. Like it's, you know.
Yeah.
You live with it. You live with it and you compartmentalize it. So you're like, nah, it's just, you know, and you cup on.
Yeah.
And in those days of adolescence and coming into your manhood, so to speak, you know, you rule the world. You are untouchable, you know, because things are happening and you're friends and you're partying and you know, so you are in many ways avoiding it.
Yeah.
Right. What else had happened, which I must say, part of that trauma, in fact, one of the most enabling factors of this trauma was the fact that I was alone, which came out in my therapy. Not only
alone in which way?
Alone,
going through it.
Also physically.
Oh.
What I've learned through therapy was that when you have a brother or a sister, or you're growing up, it somehow not appeases, but it somehow it heals in a way traumatic events. And I've seen it in my own kids. Like, you get over things a bit quicker. Now, obviously, this is traumatic, but it was also fueled by the fact that my parents were very involved in the church, still are.
Okay.
But the thing that added fuel to the proverbial fire was that I was alone, like physically alone in my own world,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Having to go through the notions. And so that added fuel to the flame, and then which also, made me want to overcompensate in friendships and doing bad things as a child. So that was quite interesting to learn later on in my life once it all came out.
So then you got married.
And the wheels fell off.
Okay. How old were you?
I was 26.
And what were you doing at the time?
I
Where were
was
you?
working for Nike in Johannesburg, and I had by that point I had a history of bad relationships, cheating and lying and partying and, just debauchery. Then I thought that this, because my parents and the church played a massive role in how I thought my life should be. And so I felt like being married to a Christian girl and playing the Christian husband would negate all the years of pain and so I did that with unknowingly all of the baggage of what had happened, right? I didn't know about that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. We're gonna pray. We're gonna, marry, and then we're gonna head off into the sunset. Everything else but that happened. In my marriage, I had still been watching porn. My wife, then ex-wife, didn't know about it, and so it became a bit of a thing after she caught me once, twice, 3 times. And I can't remember. We were married for about 7 years, I think, and eventually she caught me again. But this was like the umpteenth time. And I had said to her, I'll never forget that night actually, and I had said to her, I've got a problem, because then she was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong with you, you need to seek help.
Yeah.
And I said to her that I told her what had happened. I can't remember.
Was that the turning point? Was that the?
Yeah.
Is that the moment?
There were many moments, but that was one of them. Yeah, that was one would say the segue into the healing process, because she was then the first person that I'd ever told about what had happened. And she said to me...
And this is how many years after? Like more than 10 years?
More than 10 years, yeah. And she said, you need to see someone, and you need to tell your parents. You need to tell your dad what had happened, and your mom.
Yeah.
Which at the time was like, there's no way. Because it happened in my family's home. And so it's like telling them that their people did it.
Yeah.
And we come from a solid family.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I did.
Did you first tell your parents and then went for therapy?
So this is how it panned out in a nutshell. So we were living in Johannesburg, and then my ex-wife flies back to Cape Town because her family is from here. And it just happened to be my birthday. My dad and I are 2 days apart.
Okay.
Birthday. So it just happened to be the weekend of our birthdays. So I call him and I go, come up to Joburg and play golf. I'm going to book us. So it's our birthday weekend. So come up. So I fly him up to Joburg.
Knowing that you're going to
I get nervous just telling you this, right? It was crazy. So
and by planning this was you planning to tell him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I write a letter. I wonder if he still has it, but I write a letter. It must have been 8 pages long. It was a proper letter. And I knew that I couldn't do this with him, so I needed to write it. So I wrote it down, all the details as well, from the times I can remember. And so I fly him up and we play golf. And then one evening we bride at my place, and it's just him and I say to him, Dad, I want to give you something. And I take out
Sure.
this letter. I take out this letter and I start reading it. Ugh. And it was hard. It was very, very hard because I saw my dad. I've seen him cry before, but I saw him cry I've never actually seen him cry like that, you know, to this day. Because here's a man who was like, you know, he's my father, he's my hero. And I'm telling him of, I mean, it's so complex. I failed, his family failed, he failed as a you know, it was just a mess, man. And I remember reading it, and I was like, I couldn't get through the words. I was like, like shaking and telling him this, and I told him. I mean, I read it, and he stood up. I can't remember. We just hugged, and my dad was like sobbing, and I think for me that was the point of when something happened, in terms of healing, and like it was out, because now for the first time it was out. And and so yeah, that was how I told. And then obviously he told my mom, and then I went for lots and lots of therapy afterwards. But interestingly, what had happened was, I mean, it sounds like it was just from there. It sounds like it was. We never had kids then, my ex-wife and I. No, we didn't. Things, Danny, got so bad after that. I mean, I look back on it now and I'm like, yo, the devil had his way with me, hey. It got so bad after that. I had multiple affairs. I mean, I don't know how wide or deep we want to go here, but
Whatever
like,
you're comfortable with, bro.
I just, because what had happened was I had nothing from my parents after that, nothing from my dad.
So your dad, he then left,
He then left back to Cape Town.
and
My wife comes
he
back.
told your mom.
Tells my mom.
Did you ever speak to your mom after that? Wow.
No. And this is the unfortunate part of our culture, then more so, and this is where it's up to us and the people listening to break that. We
Yeah.
need to speak. We need to talk. As hard as it is, we need to talk, man, because yeah, nothing was said. Everybody just went silent, and I went through the darkest period of my life for the next 5 years.
Sure.
I had multiple affairs because I didn't know where to go for. Like, my wife came back, and it was like life just carried on, you know. Nobody came to me and said, okay, Van, like, we're going to do this. We're going to go together, or, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is, what now? Like,
Yeah.
I'm still addicted to porn. I still have this urge to chase and to do wrong, and to, like, I still have the pain,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do with it. Like,
Did you feel any sense of relief when you read it to your dad, when your dad?
yes, I did. For sure, I felt relief. But
It's the silence after that.
it's the silence, bro, that broke me.
Fuck.
It's the silence that broke me, and it's almost like the same silence that I had held on for 13, 14 years was the same demon that held me after that, you know, because I never, there was no, my mom and dad never came around me. Like, there was no plan. There was no, okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep talking.
Yeah.
You know, let's keep
Yeah.
checking in.
Yeah.
and so I just went, it got bad, and so um, my first child was from an affair, and I love him to pieces. His name's London, and well, all of my boys are the love of my life. But and then in the same year, my wife tells me she's pregnant. So I had a woman that was that I was having an affair with, and a wife pregnant, and then it just went down, bro. It was just like, because then you're like a mess. Then you're like, I've effed up now.
Yeah.
Like I'm done. Like it's, still nobody's saying anything, you know. So yeah, and then another affair, another kid. Until eventually, and I think through it all, I tried. Like you tried, and I started seeing. I started seeing a therapist in that
How long
era.
after
I
that?
think it was maybe I would say within a year.
How did you get to that point? How did you find a therapist? Like, well, how was that?
I think it was through church, and this therapist, it was a shocker. He, I remember walking in, and and he was a renowned. There was a huge pastor in Joburg who was going through a divorce, and this was his therapist, and that's how. So I was paying top dollar at the time to see this doctor, and I remember walking in and telling him my story, and he goes, "You're an addict. You're a sex addict." And I was like, "What?" It was like, it's like, like it felt like what?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, no, you're a sex addict," and he's telling me about this, and so that was tough. I didn't stay with him for very long, but yeah, the therapy in and of itself, the work, man, was so like it literally that whole notion around it gets bad before it gets good was what had happened over the past. Like the next few years.
Did you find another therapist?
I found a few. I
Okay.
found a few because then what had happened, we got divorced, and I think that was 2014. And I had a counselor and a session and therapist for then, but it wasn't until I was in my first big relationship outside of the divorce. Pardon me, where it was the second verse of this chapter, because I had gone for therapy, and I was divorced, and I felt like I was on this journey towards healing, and I had cheated on this girl, like again.
Yeah.
And she had found out, and I found myself in what I was like my 30s at the same place. She kicked me out the house.
Sure.
And it was worthless. It was feeding that same demon that I, for just lustful pleasure and making me feel better, and I found myself, and until that day, when I said to God, she kicked me out the house. I was walking down the street, and I was just a mess. And I said to God, I need you. I need you. I will lose everything. The people that I hurt at this point, they've been dealing with my shit for over and over and over. My brothers, my family,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this had happened again, and I'm like, I need you to come. I need a breakthrough here, and until I prayed that prayer, which was like complete, there was just truth in
Yeah.
it. I felt like that was another like major turnaround for me, where I was like, this is I can lie to myself and think this and that and whatever and sugarcoat it, but I need breakthrough, I need proper change. And so, and then I sought help again, and until I went to that, who was my last psychologist that I saw, and I saw him for a long time. And he then, and I told him what I'm telling you. I mean, I told him everything. Like, you know, that was then the point for me where I had taken ownership and responsibility, and made sure that the choices, you know, that I was making were better. And it's been ongoing since then. But thank God that I am out of the woods. You know, and it's only by His grace, I believe, and His amazing love and His pursuit for me. You know, sometimes I'll be like, yo, can I not just leave? Like, there's Brasa that's doing this on the daily, and they're all right with it. I was jawling with them. I was going out with them. They, you know, running havoc but there's no there's no moral thing. So I was like, God, I want to just do this thing, man, because I suck at trying to do it right. But he was just relentless in pursuing me, and still, even as a messed up and then that was where the story changed for me. And yeah, it's been tough. The thing is, you will never avoid the ramifications and the consequences of your actions here, right? I was with my son London in New York a few months ago for Christmas and New Year's, and I could feel, as much as I love all my kids, but London grew up in Portland, Oregon, and there's a separation. We've been in contact, we chat and we video call, but I could feel the ramifications of my sin because I'm not there with my son like it should be, you know, and he's not there with me, and I don't get to hold him and look him in his eyes and say, I love you. And so that is the consequences of sin. Thank God our eternal souls are fulfilled and blessed and forgiven, and you know we'll get to heaven by His grace. But like we still live through the pains of our choices down here. I still get people looking at me thinking I'm that bra. You know, I still get my friends' wives who know me from that time still not wanting to hug me because I was a fark, and you know, and so they're like, nah, this bra, you know, and so, but that is the consequences of my actions.
I want to pause at let's just go back to the therapy, because you know sometimes people think it's not needed, or it's not. How important was that for you? Because I always say it's almost like finding a doctor, like someone that's going to work for you. Like, because we also went to a counselor that I didn't like, and then my wife also didn't, because she kind of made me feel like we're talking to her auntie that is judging us and me specifically, because I was like, this is what I did, and she's like, no, that's not okay. And I was like, I wasn't here for you to tell me it's not okay. I know it's not. I'm here to get help. You know, and like you said, now the first person you saw was like just telling you a sex addict, and you know what I mean. How important was it for you, in hindsight now, to have found that the last psychologist that you were with for a while?
There is no way around it, I think. I've tried it, but I firmly believe as someone who has been on that side and then walked through to this side of healing, there is no way around seeking professional help. It is what the damage that had been done, but also seeking help that is like there has to be wisdom, because that first psychologist messed me up, you know, in terms of his diagnosis. It was only, and then I had a succession of people, but then when I saw Dr. Vaughan at the end, who I then spent a lot of time with, he took me back to before sex, before porn, before, and that was very important for me. Whereas the other doctor just looked at the trauma and went, "You're a sex addict," but things had happened before then, which is the loneliness, which my last psychologist then called out, and how the two then married in. So the sex, the porn, how it appeases or comforts the previous to all of the sexual stuff, traumas, which was loneliness as a kid, you know, as a young man. And so they definitely the two, the sexual abuse and the fact that I was just alone and lonely, not alone only in terms of physically, but a lonely cat. You know, my parents were constantly at every night, church, and I was lonely in terms of my character, you know.
Is that?
So
I guess it was one of those things where you didn't think that.
I didn't know that.
You know what I mean? I also, when I had that
help.
moment, and I was like, oh, this happened and this, but it's just fine. And it's like, wait, let's pause there. He says, and it's like, okay, so let's stop there and let's go back. And then they put things into perspective, and like, I would have never thought. But then it makes it makes sense.
Of course.
Then it makes complete sense.
Of course. Now, there's a reason why these doctors and professionals study for so long, you know, and you made the analogy of a physical doctor. You know, there's a reason. I would say, though, that that wisdom needs to be used when going to and what was super important for me was I've been to sessions like I'd do, like if I was dating someone and we go to a relationship counselor or whatever, where you hold back things.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like until I told Dr. Vaughan, Alice, right? And everything was out. Like I'm talking about the secretive thoughts, and the stuff that you go into a doctor's room and you're like, I'm gonna try and tell him what I think he knows, but also for me to look quiet, you know, for me not to look like an api. So I'm gonna come in there and tell him, because I maybe want it to blame my cousins or my parents or my
you can't fool.
No, but also when you do that, they will then base it around what you're telling them.
Yes.
Until I came in and I was like, blah, like this is it. I'm tired of blaming my cousins, my parents, my ex-wife, my upbringing, whatever. I am a plea. Like that's who I am. Like I'm the bra that needs help. You know, I can talk to you about loneliness, parents, sexual abuse. I can talk to you about all of that. But now it's on me.
Yeah. Like you took responsibility and went, I'm the perpetrator.
Yeah.
Because
now it's perpetuating. Like, and I keep going, oh yeah, it's Brasha did this to me and my cousins. And but now, what?
How old were you then?
This was
You're 30 something.
This was last week. No, no, this was 2017.
Okay.
2017, 2018. I saw him for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's a sacrifice. Well, financially, it's a sacrifice.
It is, but you get to know yourself so much better. You heal. You actually start healing. I mean, the healing journey, I always say, you know, it's a never-ending thing. But I'd rather spend money on that.
For sure.
You know,
For sure.
than spending it on a night out and a this and a that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
People sometimes think therapy is very expensive. It depends how often you go, but it's expensive when you don't get on that healing journey. The amount
Not
of
what.
damage
Yeah,
that you can
yeah,
cause, not
yeah.
only to you, but to those around you, you know. But if you just decide, because then you understand yourself better and you can make better decisions and you don't
Yeah.
have to wake up feeling cuck about shit
Yeah.
that you caught on.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Because now
yeah,
you're actually getting
yeah,
better.
yeah.
And you can now have mercy and some grace for others, and you look at other people differently and going, you know what I mean? Because now it's out. It is what it is. This is me, and yeah,
Yeah, bro. It's I think that when you say that you look at other people, I think for me, there was a specific time after I told you about the relationship and she caught me and she kicked me out the house. I wanted to to end it for me, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna
Wow.
take myself out here because I'm just a mess, and then again I just feel like it was God just he put the others around me,
Yeah.
and he said as many of the people that you can help you can hurt. So as many people as God has given me at that time, which was mostly like my kids and my few friends and my family, those people are the ones that you should get better for.
Yeah.
I know you think of yourself like this, which he dealt with and I've worked through, but it's the people that God had afforded me and said, do it, get better for them, you know, get better for the lighties, get better for your parents, get better for your brasa that's been rooting for you, you know. So that was a game changer, and it's crazy how you think your actions are just you just doing your dung here, but
Yeah.
the ripple effect, man. When I looked at that, Danny, I was when you see the pain in your parents' eyes and in your kids and your friends, you know, and you're like, yo, I just thought I was, you know, chasing and busy, whatever, and
Yeah.
doing this thing. Meanwhile, you see the hurt and the disappointment, and you go, this is not about me, Ru. When I make a choice to not to, or even, and that's why going to therapy, it's not just for you, man. You know, it's not just so you can feel lekker, and that's a part of it, but it's so your lighties can be better husbands one day and wives, and so you know your parents can be proud of you, and that you're a lekker friend, that you know what I mean, like you're a lekker Brahman. That's do it for the you know, this whole notion around as many people as you can help, you can heal, keeps me there, because every time you want to hit a young left or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you're like, no, it's I've seen the effects,
Yeah.
and we don't get it right. I'm not at all in a place
Yeah.
where I'm like, okay, you know, nah, bro, it's you it's a daily surrender, and this the thing that, if anything, I take from the pain is how it humbles you and how it
Ne?
makes you look at other bras,
Yeah.
and you're like, who are you to like, you know, you were there at a stage, you know,
Yeah.
now you're meeting a bra and he's wilding out and he's maybe having whatever, and it's kept me and keeps me grounded and humble, you know. I just wish it didn't have to cause so much pain, but like,
Yeah.
that's
You're still struggling to kind of forgive yourself.
No, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no. I am no. I've accepted God's forgiveness. You know, there was a season in my life, Brew, where I was just like, no, that's it. Like I'd go to church and I'd have my hoodie on and my kepi, and I'd just sit at the back and, you know, because I was quite involved in church when my divorce and the affairs went through, and all the affairs that happened, and so a lot of people in the church knew about my dirt.
Okay.
And bro, there's no, bruh, the church folk, damn, they know how to kick us their own soldiers when you're down. The church was where I received so much of my pain, crazy. But anyway, unfortunately, and so my point was that I would, there was years where I would walk around with shame, and I was dealing with things. I think you can't just come out of it and go, right,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
But there was a moment I knew God was like, that, brah, we've worked through him. I don't know
okay.
if have you watched the Chronicles of Narnia?
Yeah.
So in the first,
I can't
the
remember
first
this,
one, C.S. Lewis, the first one, one of the kids lies, and so you know Aslan is God, right? The lion, Aslan, right? And so Aslan finds out that this one boy who is the lead lied to his brothers and sisters about something. And so Aslan's very upset, and the brothers and sisters are very hurt. And Aslan calls him up to this mountain, and it's a beautiful picture of God's grace. And in the movie, the way the story is told, you don't get to see what God is saying to him on the mountain. You just see them walk up, and you see the silhouette, and you just see this little kid, oh man, and this big God. And you just see this lion talking to this kid, and then they come down off the mountain, and then Aslan says to the rest of the family, I've dealt with him, and we will talk about this no more.
Wow.
And God showed me that not too long ago in my life, where he's like, we're done with that. Now you don't. Now you walk with your head held high, and that season is done.
Sure.
And not that we won't talk about it, but like in the movie he says that, but like it's done. We've had our mountain experience,
Yeah.
and so now that bra is no more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. In that, there must have been a time where you also felt like.
should I have tissues here, maybe?
Do you want some?
No.
Did you like feel like God has forgotten about you, or did you?
Oh, for sure. I don't know why he made me. I was like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Like, why did you
Yeah,
make
yeah,
me?
yeah.
You know, I just wondered if he could not have me here anymore. I'm like, I would be in a place in my life where I was like, I'd be happy, God, if you just
Yeah.
took me out now.
Yeah.
You know, and but I'm not there anymore.
And do you feel like now you have purpose?
Yeah, my purpose is I definitely my biggest role, and I've said this before on socials, especially as an actor, is that of a father to my kids, and and then to be a what's it called, like someone to say, to be an example to men, to say, I see you, you know, and it's going to get better. And I don't know how and when, but it gets better. I think that's another thing that I know that the mess was not without. I have to. You said it earlier. You said you have to use your pain for something.
For purpose.
For purpose. I think that there's, you know, and if that is just channeling it through my kids to show them, you know, to father from that place, then that's so okay. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. But for sure, there is there's purpose in it. Yeah.
I'm grateful for this chat, brother. Fuck, I admire you so much for doing this and speaking about it, because yeah, this is exactly part of the reason why I'm doing this. I admire you. I admire you as a father, as a friend, as a brother, as an actor. I see the work that you put in. I admire that.
Get there.
And yeah, man, this has been a really, really good chat. And I mean, we're gonna keep having chats like this and keep on healing, you know. Do you have any last words that you'd like to, any message for the men out there? I always ask this question at the end: what do you think can happen when men heal?
Bruh, that is loaded, man. I think that. So I'm a Christian, and I'm a believer, and I believe that the men. So in the Bible, in the Old Testament, there was a plot to kill all male babies. That's and we've seen. I mean, I'm sure we all know that story. And there's always been an attack on male figures throughout history. Presidents. We see it now playing out. You can go, whether you're secular, Christian, whatever, the male species has always been under attack and question, and you know, we're at the forefront of being in war zones in some way or form, whether it's privately in families or whether it's politics or whatever. I think that when men heal, the world becomes a better place. When men heal, restoration happens because we carry the seed of humanity, right? And we have the power to reproduce who we are, right? So you're not going to create white hair, blonde, what am I saying? Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
You know, like you're going to create who you are. And so when we heal, we create and perpetuate that as seed bearers. That then creates more of that. So as I heal and I give and I father my kids from that place of healing and forgiveness and responsibility and accountability, and I pour into my friends and my family and my kids, that then has this ripple effect that we then go out and we're not degrading women around the Braai area and catching on kak at bars. You know, we are taking responsibility, and but the thing is, it's saying this here, trying, it's one thing, you know, it's not, and it's not about talking about it, it's about doing it, you know, it's about doing the hard work, because it's on us, as much as the world, the society will tell us it's women, and it's on us. Because our wives will be... God has given us as men the authority and the power. We need to step into it, and that comes with taking ownership, sorting your shit out, and I'm talking, again, it's not about TikTok and sorting it out on socials and being like, it's about when the door is closed here and you're alone, and you're messaging or you're chatting or you're thinking. It's about that, right? That's where the start of this year, I was like, everybody was fasting on TikTok. People are fasting and fast to 21-day Dan, and I'm like, I want to fast too. And God's like, shut up. Shut up. Do stop doing the things that you know you shouldn't be doing. And do what I tell you to do. You don't have to fast to know that. And I was like, oh, but I also want to post that I'm fasting. And God was like, and for me, it boils down to that. When men heal, it's in the detail. It's in the, and I know that it's difficult, brah. I know that but it can be done, man. You know, it can be done. You need to, for the sake, if we want to leave a legacy in this world, like no one's going to know of us in 100 years from. Nobody will know about any of us, whether you Drake or Driekus or whether no one's going to know about us. But for this life, as we leave, I mean, like as we, after this life, and people, our grandlighties and our kids are going to remember Opa and Daddy and what. That part of what we do will be, the healing will perpetuate through to that, is what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? My grandkids may not know all of the decisions that I've had to make for that grandkid and great grandkid to be a better father and husband, right?
Yeah.
But it's the decisions that I make now and the healing that I seek now.
Breaking
It's a very
the
long
cycle.
answer of saying that when men heal, this world will be better. I firmly believe that politics, leaders, churches, husbands, uncles will be better. The conversations that women are saying, the crime, I believe that when men heal and seek healing, real genuine healing, not Bombay stuff. I'm talking about genuine shit, real healing that matters. There'll be a freedom and a peace that'll overtake your life and your friendships and your relationships, and it's not that life then is better. There'll still be stuff, man, but it's just wholesome and healing, and I mean, and
it's liberating,
healthy.
to be able to also like take responsibility and own up and like, this is who I am. This is what it is. I found like such a liberation in that. Once I took responsibility, because now I'm calling myself out, and this is what it is.
Yeah. And there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that.
Because you don't have to hide anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you don't have, you can talk. You can say and talk about it, and if people are uncomfortable, it's fine, but you have taken ownership, and you don't have to hide, and you can be comfortable wherever you are, because you've owned up.
And let's create space, is what I'd love to also just leave with your viewers, is like, let's create space for, I don't think men have the allowance or the provision of making room for bras, man. Like, the current landscape is like performative. Do you have a six-pack? How's your biceps? What you rolling up in? What does your kin look like? Like that, it's very performative. I'm saying to wives, to bras, to your viewers, let's create space for guys to feel safe and to heal, because we've almost been doing the opposite. No room for healing. Just show up and tick my boxes. I don't want to hear about you. I don't want to, you must just stick it and be. We need a place where you can say, it's a right chunk, bro. Tell me, you caught on cock? Come, let's talk. We're not going to, I'm not here to be like, oh, nah, but we're going to talk about it. Because maybe in you saying that, I can see myself in your pain. It may not look the same. It may not feel the same. Yours may be recent, mine may be 20 years ago, but I can identify with it. And so come, let's walk. And I feel like as I'm becoming an unk now, I also need to take on that role to be like,
Yeah.
come, come talk to uncle. You know.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, my guy.
I'm really proud of you. It's not an easy journey that you've walked. So, thank you for doing this. Thank you for taking that step in becoming a better version of yourself.
Thank you. And thanks for this platform. I appreciate you inviting me, bro. I hope that it blesses and encourages your viewers and that they'll take something out of it. Shot.
Oh, yeah.
Shot, my gazi.
Love you, brother.
I am enough, you are enough. No more self-doubt, I know we are the rubber that pull myself out. Fuck feeling stuck, I am enough, you are enough. No more self-doubt, I know we are the rubber that pull myself out. Fuck feeling stuck, I am